And for Councilman Vieira, I'm the alternate, and he's unable to attend today.
Thank you very much. At this point, we would like to ask everybody if they could to put themselves on mute. Thank you.
Go ahead.
For those of you that are here in person and those of you that are listening, could we all please stand and recite this pledge to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I'm going to go through the roll, and if there's anyone on the phone, would you please introduce yourself when it's time? For those here in person, Raquel Pancho. Present. Samantha Galtley. Not here. Scott Clark.
Here.
Gloria Mills.
Here.
Carmen LeBeau. Commissioner Smith.
Here.
Arizona. And I'm here. Is there anyone else on the phone? Would you please introduce yourselves?
Good afternoon, Ms. Seidel. This is Brendan Love with Yellow Cab of Tampa.
All right, thank you.
Good afternoon, Dan Rodriguez with HART.
Okay.
This is Jailise Feliciano with HART.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Linda Crescentini with HART.
Okay.
And we also have here Greg Bracken with HART, Kevin Lee Green with HART, Judith Anselm with HART. Thank you.
I hope everybody got a chance to read the minutes. I would like to know if you'd like to have any corrections or stay the same on the February 20th, 2020 minutes. And if so, could we have a yay or nay?
Sandra, we can't vote on the minutes.
Oh, that's all right.
Yes.
We don't have a quorum right yet, so we will come back to that. Next order of business, Yellow Cab update, Brendan Love.
Well, Ms. Seidel and the rest of the committee, I thank you for the opportunity to participate. I did recently become a manager of the paratransit division here at Yellow Cab. I've been here for 3 years, so I'm fully aware of the HART Plus program, and have dealt with some people at HART for a long time, specifically Kemley Green. And I know Ms. Seidel and Mr. Jenkins pretty well, but I do want to say that I did have a meeting with Mr. Bracken and Ms. Wilburn here this week. We are aware of some of the issues that have presented themselves specifically regarding the call center and wait times. And what we did in January was we discontinued our relationship with a third-party call center service that was handling some of our calls, and we've refurbished our facilities here and added more people here. So this call center is now the only call center we have, and it's running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We've improved the handling time on the calls dramatically. We've reduced the wait times dramatically too. So we shouldn't have any issues going forward in that regard. I know that there may be some complaints around that, but like I say, I'm pretty confident those will no longer be an issue going forward. We did discuss some issues in Brandon with Mr. Bracken, and we've taken steps to alleviate those. Obviously, the pandemic has caused some issues where we have not had as many drivers participating as we did pre-pandemic, but we are starting to see the drivers come, seeking employment again. So we intend to expand the fleet as the vaccine rolls out and as we come out of this pandemic. So I'm absolutely available to anybody at any time if you want to reach me by phone or email. Whatever any of you would like to discuss, I'm happy to do so today or at any time in the future.
Thank you, Brandon. Does anybody have any questions for Brandon?
I wanted to speak up there. Mr. Bean is no longer with Yellow Cab, and we have an agenda item later on to put his position up to be filled, voted on by this committee, so that'll be coming up here. I have been working with Yellow Cab to try to work on some of the issues that Brandon was talking about, specifically Brandon response time, and they have committed to address those out there. Sorry about that. We also are looking at the on-time percentages of their performance. They have really improved at a high of, being late of 13.4%, and we're in the 4.2 to 4.3% trips being late right now with them. So that's a dramatic increase in their on-time performance with us as well. So I want to thank them for their efforts. They have stepped up with the purchase of additional wheelchair vehicles. So I think they are in the 40, I think they said 42 now. When we started, they were like 15. So since 2016, they've really stepped it up and added to that fleet. So hopefully our customers are seeing and experiencing the benefit of the additional vehicles out there. So.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right, thanks, Brendan. Next order of business is TD Tampa Bay, Steve Holmes.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Steve Holmes from Reserve, and I appreciate the opportunity to present to you today an innovative program that we have been operating in the Tampa Bay area since the 1st of December. That's called the TD program. It was grant received from the Commission for the Transportation Disadvantaged. And like I said, we began that service on December 2nd in the area. We are partnering with TBARDA to be able to provide this service. And the primary purpose of the grant is to provide cross-county trips. As many of you know, the issue of cross-county trips is large for the transportation disadvantaged individuals in the Tampa Bay area. And so this grant is directly related to addressing that issue of cross-county. We also provide evening and weekend trips to transportation disadvantaged persons for the counties where the community transportation coordinator is not providing those trips on the evening or the weekend. I know HART is not the community transportation coordinator. It's Sunshine Line in Hillsborough County. So we want to make sure that we do not supplant any of those services that the Sunshine Line is doing, but we want to complement and supplement those services. We're also providing services in Hernando County, Pasco County, Pinellas, Hillsborough, and Manatee counties. The overall purpose of the program is to increase a transportation disadvantaged person's access to and departure from job training, employment, health care, and other life-sustaining services. It's there to enhance the regional connectivity and cross-county mobility for transportation disadvantaged persons within that 5-county TBARDA region. The services that we provide are both on-demand and scheduled. We have ambulatory and wheelchair accessible vehicles. The service itself is direct, nonstop, door-to-door service, and is provided by credentialed drivers. The drivers are trained in disability sensitivity, defensive driving, CPR, HIPAA, etc. They're also FTA drug and alcohol compliant. They've passed background screening, and they have safe driving histories. To date, as of the first week of February, we have provided in Hillsborough County about 208 trips to transportation disadvantaged individuals who reside in Hillsborough County. Most of those are cross-county trips, primarily going to Pinellas County. Our on-time percentage for the 3 months is 99.7%. And what else can I tell you on that? That's about all the data I'll mention in this presentation here. As we talk with individuals, community transportation coordinators, and other organizations around Tampa Bay area, we really ask that assist us in getting the word out that this transportation service is available. If an individual is a HART Plus client, if they ride for HART Plus, they will be eligible for our program. We would just need an application from them, and they can receive an application, or they can get an application if they go to the website tdtampabay.com, and there's an online service for our online service. There's an online button where they can apply. The service is $6 each way, and we have a multilingual call center that the individual can call and make their trips, and we'll soon be having a rider app where the individual can also schedule rides for using the rider app. With that, I just wanted to give you a brief information about the TD Tampa Bay program. I'd love to really spend time and really answer your questions instead of me just talking. So any questions that you may have for me?
This is Sandra. You said you go to Pasco County. It is like Dade City, Zephyr Hills, or the outlet malls. Do you do that?
Yes, we go. If the needs transportation, Hillsborough County, they can go to anywhere from Hernando, Pasco, Manatee, Pinellas, from 5 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night on weekdays, and from 7:30 in the morning to 7:30 at night on weekends. So yes, they could go to the malls if they needed to for shopping.
I believe Commissioner Smith has a question.
Thank you. How many trips did you say you are? It was 200 and something, but I didn't catch if that was annually or monthly or weekly or what. How many trips are you serving?
Commissioner may pull up again. It was the data that I shared was since December 2nd of last year. So it's only been it's been a 3 month period. It was 208. Yep.
That's what I thought.
208, Commissioner, from Hillsborough County. And that goes from December 2nd until February 14th of this year. So we have we don't have a lot of data for much other than those 3 months.
Do you think COVID is slowing it down?
No, I think we don't. I don't think it's really slowed down. This is a new service, cross-county service, and so we don't know the total need. One of the project's goals for the first year is really to understand the need for cross-county transportation. And so our biggest challenge right now is really getting the word out to individuals who qualify for this program that we are available to be able to take these rides across county. So that's our biggest challenge right now. That's why we really appreciate the opportunity today to be able to present to this committee so you can help us get the word out so we can provide this service to our needed transportation disadvantaged clients around the region.
Thank you very much. That's it for me.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Steve, this is Greg. I had a question. You gave the hours to the service, but what's the hours for your call center?
The hours from the call center, let me pull that up. I believe it's 5 o'clock in the morning until, I think that goes until 10 o'clock in the evening also, but let me pull up another document to be able to tell you that right now. Just give me just a second. Call center hours are 5:30 in the morning to 10 o'clock at night on weekdays, and 7:30 in the morning to 7:30 at night on weekends. So our call center hours match our service hours.
Thank you.
Gloria?
I have a question. If you wanted to go to another county, say Pinellas County, and you wanted to spend the night there, is there any restriction to that to get a trip going there and not going back that night?
No, there would not be an issue. When you just schedule your trip, you would just schedule, of course, the trip to Pinellas County, and if you knew when you wanted to return the next day, you could schedule the trip the next day, or our call center, as long as we have 2 hours notice, we can have a driver to you. So it's not as if you have to call 24 hours in advance for reservations. So if you give us 2 hours in advance, we can have a driver to you to take you back home.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, my name is Raquel Pancho. I have a
Rebecca,
question for you.
Your mic?
Okay, all right, thank you. Hi, this is Raquel Pancho. I have a question for you. Is this a service that if someone obtained employment from in Pinellas County and they resided here in Hillsborough County that they might be able to use, on a 40-hour week basis to travel back and forth to their employment site?
You cut out early, and I didn't catch some of the key pieces of your question.
Okay, no problem, and it's probably my mask as well. So, is this a service that individuals may be able to use if they've obtained employment? For example, if they live here in Hillsborough County and now have a job in Pinellas, is this something that they might be able to regularly schedule to travel back and forth to work?
This is ideally for that purpose. This funding that comes from the Commission for Transportation Disadvantage was part of the MCORS legislation that passed, I think, 3 years ago in the legislature. And one of the purposes in that legislation was employment and job training. So this is cross-county trips, and especially cross-county trips for transportation, for employment is really the target audience that we would love to serve and serve more of.
Wonderful, wonderful. And along with that, I'm sure you probably have targeted vocational rehabilitation and the employment services agencies with your outreach to share the information with those companies that are providing employment services for persons with disabilities. That might be a wonderful target area to share the information.
We've shared information with a lot of folks, but we need to continue to share information because there's just a lot of folks. There's a lot of programs out there, and so we really need to continue to talk to various people. We've talked to the Agency for Persons with Disabilities because we used to run a program called the Advantage Ride Program in Tampa Bay area for Pinellas, Hillsborough, and Manatee counties. until that funding was cut by the governor because of the COVID situation. And so there's a lot of folks who use that service, and so they're very aware of USERV and the service that we provide, and they like that service. And so we would love to continue to get that word out there that we're still we're back providing information, or back providing transportation to transportation disadvantaged individuals, and would love to continue our relationship with them.
And just one last comment, and that I have known of your service, and yes, for many years, individuals were very grateful for the service that you were providing, and it's wonderful to see that you're back and it's expanded, so thank you.
Hello.
And so far, we appreciate we are seeing an increase in trips, so we know the word is getting out there. We've really, the trends that we started off in December very slow with about 70 trips. January, we jumped up to 260 trips, and in the first 14 days of February, we're at 154 trips, so we're on track to be over 300 trips. So the word is getting out. But if you know of anybody, and if you know of any organizations, please let them know that they can go to tdtampabay.com and apply for our services.
Hello, this is Kamali Green. I do have a question from the public, and it was related to the fares or the cost of the trip. If you could tell us a little bit more again. And they were asking if you, since you accept HART Plus customers, if you would accept the voucher for HART Plus.
Our fees are $6 each way, but right now, no, we don't accept the vouchers from the HART Plus customer, because this is a separate grant program. This is a grant through the Commission for the Transportation Disadvantaged. So we don't have that relationship with HART to be able to do that, be able to provide a voucher system.
Okay, and did you mention if that was cash or do you accept credit cards too?
It's credit cards. In fact, as a transportation network company, we're not allowed to accept cash. So when the individual makes the reservation, they provide a credit card or a debit card, and that card is charged once the trip is made.
Thank you. And regarding the reservations, do you take same-day reservations or only advanced?
We take same-day reservations with just 2 hours in advance, and we can provide the trip, both wheelchair and ambulatory rides.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you very much.
Next on the agenda is the chairman's report. I had the opportunity to ride the autonomous bus. I had preconceived notions when I first went down there. They have all been put to the wayside. My only concern was that when there's two stops that are very hard as the vehicle turns, and I felt that there was a need to have the seatbelt with the shoulder harness, because that's what's going to keep the wheelchair patron in the wheelchair. But it was a great ride. It's a roomy vehicle. So whoever thinks that, this isn't working, it is. And I would advise everybody who likes to try this out to come down and do it, because it was a great thing. My next thing is for the new Route 3846. That's going fantastic. It's so much nice to be able to ride, all the way from Net Park into Brandon Mall, past Social Security office. And the ridership in that area is going up every day that I've ridden it. So it's a great service. So thank you for the powers to be that are here at HART that finally did this. I also noticed that on many routes, and right now I'm only using Route 6 and Route 38, most of the buses don't have schedules on them. And if they do have schedules, it's 12 or 14 different bus routes on there. if they would, if the operators would just have, even if it's just their schedule and a connecting schedule, that would be great, but I'd like to see more of the schedules be put on the bus. My big problem, especially this last week and a half, have been shopping carts, walkers, and wheelchairs on the bus. The walkers aren't being folded up, and it's making it difficult for, I know for me, to get into the secure mid area because these walkers are out. They keep moving them around, and there was one day that I really had a hard time, and I kept bumping it, and I just bumped it out of the way, and which I know wasn't very nice on my part, but I needed to get into that secure mid area. The larger wheelchairs are also having a hard time, and I'll give you an example of what happened. A man was playing blackjack on his phone, right hand, right controller, trying to get into the secure mid area, bumped into everything, had to back up, go forward, back up, finally kept hitting my wheelchair. I know the drivers don't want to do confrontation, and I understand that, but I think HART had a rule that those walkers needed to be folded up, and I think the drivers need to go back and say something and sort of eliminate this problem. The one thing that I want to compliment are your road maintenance people. It's been difficult because, and I know they have a hard job. They don't seem to think, though, they just keep saying, it's my job, which is fine. But when you get a station like at Bush and 56 there at Walgreens, when everything is overflowing, somebody's spray painting on the shelter, these people came and they cleaned all that up, repainted it, and when I mentioned it to one of the gentlemen, all he just kept saying, it's my job, it's my job. I think they need to be complimented because they do a hard job. And that's all I have. Next order of business is HART Plus and Customer Choice Voucher Program Update. Greg Bracken. I know.
I want to say on that issue with the walkers, Dan, what you saying? But the driver only can ask to fold it up. Because I've been driving on the bus for many years before there was a HART Plus. And the driver has a hard time on making people do what they need to do. Some people understand, some people just don't care. Now with the white wheelchair, it's up to you to be able to drive the wheelchair in the lot. If you can't get in there, then what are they gonna do? The bus is only so wide. So I know you got bumps with the wheelchair back and forth, but that's the operator error of the person in the wheelchair. So there's nothing they can do about that. So I just want to be clear on that. They can only do so much as a driver. But the person in the wheelchair has to be able to know how wide your wheelchair is. I mean, because they don't know how wide it is. They don't know how, they don't want to touch the wheelchair at all. You have to be able to get in and out on your own. Some of the old buses, the wheelchairs behind one another. Now those we need to get rid of because you can't get two wheelchairs behind one another. But the one on each side, that's an operating area of the person in the wheelchair. Okay. So I don't know what you're going to do about that.
Okay. Thank you. Good afternoon. We still are experiencing the effects of the COVID out there, as everyone can imagine. Our ridership for January 2021 was 10,055. That's down about 42% from the same time last year. So, we are still doing our best to transport our customers. We have basically doing one customer at a time. If they have a PCA, of course, they can use 2 at a time, up to maybe 2 in the vehicle. And then we do some school trips with a max of 4 on them. So we are doing as much as we can to eliminate the combined ridership, trying to keep that social distancing as best we can. We are starting to see an incline back up in service. Today, I think we were right at 501 original trips before, and we had some cancellations, so we ended up like 460 trips today. So, I mean, it is peak and valley. Wednesday is our biggest day. That's a dialysis day. And Friday is right behind Wednesdays now. It's starting to gain in popularity. Just for reference, in our peak before COVID, we were doing 800 plus trips a day. So it is starting to pick back up as we get back to there. Yellow Cab is experiencing the same thing. They've had quite a few drivers that have stopped working for them. They're starting to build back on their drivers now. As of yesterday, I think they were back up to 90-some drivers. For January, they did 4,187 trips. That's down 46% from last year at this same time. So year-to-date, they're down about 58%. So, we continue to work on them. As I reported earlier, they're working on some timeliness issues in the Brandon area. There just isn't a lot of clientele out there to sit a vehicle out there, but they're going to have to do something to get some more quickly response out there for our customers. So like Brendan talked earlier, I did meet with them and the owners yesterday and address those issues, and hopefully we'll see an improvement out there. But overall, they have increased their productivity for us, their on-time performance for us. We do continue to monitor them. Just to give you the big picture, so far to date, we've done 333,285 trips with Yellow Cab since our inception back in 2016. That's a lot of trips that they have done for us and provided our customers. We have also implemented some penalties in our latest contract. So when they are late, they are penalized. 30 minutes to 60 minutes is one fee, and if they're over 60 minutes late, it's the whole trip fee. So they basically do the trip for nothing if they're late. So like I said earlier, they were near the 14% late back in early, I don't even have it here, I think it was last year at this time, May. Since we implemented the penalties, now they're down to like 4.2% late trips. So it definitely has seen a positive effect of holding them accountable financially, and we'll continue to see what we can do to keep that progress going for them. So
I think that's a great idea. If they late, they don't get paid.
And it's not you that don't get paid. I don't get paid. They don't pay me. I don't pay them. You still have to pay for the trip. So.
No, I know that.
Yeah.
I mean, do you guys?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times it's not the office box. The drivers are that's slow. They drive slow. I guess they figure because they drive slow, they get more money. But they're overage or whatever. But I have spoke with them about it. I think that's good deal.
They don't get more money from us for driving slow. We have a set rate with them, so that doesn't benefit them.
But I get more money from the client because the meter's running.
Yeah.
The meter is running. The slower it drives, the more money the meter is runs.
Right.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. If you do travel during the rush hours and get stuck in the 275 highway, the meter does continue to run. That is correct. Yeah. So, I mean, they're in business to make money too, but we do our contract says the certain trip price per thing, but there is that disclaimer that if they are stuck in traffic, they are allowed to adjust it for that traffic, so.
If they want.
Yep.
Okay, next order of business, action item follow-up and committee member update. Kimberly Green.
Good afternoon. As Greg mentioned earlier, Mr. David Bean resigned as a committee member. So we're going to go and in your packets, you will see, in the packets we turned in today, you'll see applications for everybody who is joining us over the phone or online. I will mail you an application tomorrow morning, but we wanted to make that announcement. So there is a vacancy. Feel free to share that with anybody who you think is interested. And I think,
They'll come back to this committee. The applicants will come back to this committee, and they will vote on the vacancy filling that, so. Okay.
Do we vote in the next meeting or?
Well, no, we got to put it out to the public to try to get nominations first.
Oh, okay.
And then we'll bring the nominations back to this board for the next time, and then we can review the packets, and then the following month we would vote.
Okay, yeah.
I think that's the process that we had done previously.
yes. Gloria, before the next presentation, did you want to circle back and do the minutes?
Sandra.
So, I'm sorry. I know.
Now that we have a quorum, we're going to go back and get approval or denial of the February 20th, 2020 meeting. So as I do the roll call here, can we either have a yea or nay for yes or no? Gloria?
Yes.
Arizona?
Yes?
Scott?
Yes.
Carmen? I mean, Carmen.
Yes.
Michelle?
Yes.
Sorry. It's a habit now.
It's okay.
Okay, the minutes have been approved for February 20th. Oh, yeah, that does help.
You want us to repeat it?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you call my name, Commissioner Smith.
Was it?
Yeah, just repeat that the minutes were approved.
Okay.
You just need to repeat that the minutes were approved because your microphone was off.
Okay. We're going to go down the list and have either approval or denial of the minutes for February 20th, 2020. So we'll go through that again. Gloria?
Yes.
Arizona?
Yes?
Scott?
Yes.
Raquel?
Yes.
Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Raquel? Oh, I got you. The minutes have been approved for February 20th. Now we'll go through the same thing for the November 19th, 2020 minutes.
Carmen LeBeau?
Oh, I'm sorry, Carmen. I didn't know you were there.
Here.
I am so sorry. Okay, Carmen, we'll start with you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, Arizona?
Yes?
Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Gloria Mills?
Yes.
Scott Clark?
Yes.
Raquel Pancho?
Yes.
Minutes been approved. All right, next order of business is the bus stop update. Dwayne Brown.
Good afternoon, everyone. I don't know if this is on now.
You get a green light? Yeah.
All right, it's on now. My name is Dwayne Brown. I'm the Basic Transit Infrastructure Program Manager for HART, and I'll be going through updates. I don't know if you guys have slides in front of you or not, but currently, HART has we have 12 projects ongoing right now. All these projects are to bring.
My apologies, but we can't hear Dwayne Brown.
Your mic on. Yeah, it's on. Okay, can you hear me now?
I'm going to switch you out.
Okay.
So, there.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yes. Yes, thank you.
Okay. Right, so currently we have 12 projects that are ongoing, and all of them are to either our bus bays or shelter pads or landing pads, what we are bringing up to ADA standards. Next slide. I know it's a little bit hard to see here, but you can. This slide is to kind of give you an idea where our projects are in relation to all over the county here. We've been crisscrossing the county, trying to catch every area that we can, and trying to make a lot of improvements across the whole entire county. Next slide, please. Okay. The next couple of slides here are going to be the projects that we recently completed. This project was on Lumsden Road and Providence Road out in Brandon. As you can see from the before slide, it was a very, very dangerous bus stop that was there. We made a lot of improvements to get that up to to meet ADA standards. We had a couple of different C-click fixes, and then we finally got out there and was able to get this project done. The next project, this was out in Carrollwood, off of Stall Road in Orange Grove. This project also, as you can see the before slide, it was a very busy stop that's right there. Right around the corner is the Mission Bell stop. And so by putting this stop in, it alleviated some of the traffic going into the Mission Bell stop and helping with the buses so they won't pile up at that stop. So we made this made a big difference out of that in Carrollwood area. Next slide, please. This next project, the Orient Road at the State Fairgrounds, we had several C-click fixes on this particular stop out, and this stop was done very, very quickly. I want to commend the construction company, DMAR. They did an excellent job out there. They completed that site very, very quickly, and actually at this particular site we completed 4 bus stops. So next slide, please. You can see these are 2 more landing pads that we completed just down the street from that stop, where there was actually a person who was wheelchair bound, and it was requested via this committee that we go out and do this stop, and we finally got that in, and so we got 4 new stops in that area. Next slide, please. We have this project, the project on 22nd and 28th. It is ongoing right now. It is in construction. We're waiting for it to be completed. It should be completed by either tomorrow or next week sometime, but we're still pushing to get this one done. Next slide, please. These are the projects that we have in pre-construction, meaning that they are been bidded out and we have contracts towards them. Actually, the 22nd at Hillsborough, one is under construction right now. It started on Monday, and they poured some concrete yesterday, and they're going to be pouring some concrete tomorrow. So that bus stop is in process, and we're trying to get it done as quickly as possible. Tampa Fortune Street, we're in the process of doing that one as well. They kind of got moved around because of the Super Bowl. The city kind of didn't want us to start our projects until after the Super Bowl had started, but because of that, we had to push projects in order to get them done, and so that the companies wouldn't lose money in other places. Strawberry Ridge and SR60, that one is going to the committee, and Del Mabry at Kennedy, we're doing a pre-construction brief next week with the contractor to get that one started. Next slide, please. This project is awaiting a bid right now. It's in the process of going through procurement for us to get someone out to do the construction on that one. Next slide. These 2 projects are in permitting, Rome and Hillsborough Avenue and Armenia and Hillsborough. So those 2, because they're such busy intersections, we had to do a specialized maintenance of traffic program, maintenance traffic agreement with this in order to get this the Rome and Hillsborough project done. So that kind of took a little while longer, but we got that together, and so we're just waiting for the city to come back with the permits on that one. Armenia and Hillsborough, we had to do a couple of easements from the CVS and the errands that are adjacent to these stops. And so we're waiting on those easements to come back before we can get started on those projects. Next slide, please. And then we have projects that are in design. The Causeway Boulevard, near Highway 301. This particular one, because it's near a major swell, which is like the ditches that are on the side of the road, the county requested that we do a environmental impact on when we do the construction there. And so we're waiting on that environmental study to come back before we can get started on this one. All right. And I think that is all that I have for today, unless I have any questions.
Where is the bus 15 detour?
The bus 15 detour?
Yeah, the Lemon Drive. You know, they had a hole from the Baptist going towards 15th. They had a whole block.
Yeah, currently there's a sewer line going to the old historic building there. They had to take out the whole street to do a sewer line replacement. So that started, I believe, yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be for a couple of days. I think it's through the weekend, but then it'll be back. But that is for a sewer line replacement, I believe.
Yeah, but the question is, where is the detour?
Oh, I can find that out for you.
I know. You like to talk?
You have somebody behind you that
yeah.
wants to ask a question.
No,
Between Florida
he knows the details.
and Nebraska, they're going on 21st.
It's the same thing on the nose.
Okay.
It's between Florida and Nebraska, and they're going on 21st.
Okay, well.
They go down to Republican to Cuba, actually. From Florida to Republican to Cuba on 21st.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And I have one final comment. I know this committee asked about putting in a shelter at Cypress and Rio out near the McDonald Training Center. Just an update on that. We're going to be taking one of our shelters out of inventory and placing it over at that site next week. We discussed it today, so by the end of next week, we should have a shelter over in front of off of Cypress and Rio near the McDonald Training Center.
Is there anyone on the phone that would like to ask Dwayne any questions?
I have a question, Commissioner Smith.
Okay.
Thank you. Mr. Brown, this is probably a dumb question. I'm sorry, but maybe I just misheard you. You said that some of these bus stops needed something that sounded like a C-click fix?
No, ma'am.
Fix or what were you talking about?
C-click fix is a way that the public can tell HART if there's something wrong at a bus stop, or have a comment about a bus stop, or have a comment about HART in general. And when they have questions about stops being accessible, they come to my program, which is the BTI program, and then we go out and we assess them and see what we can do to fix them.
Thank you. And so is that an acronym, or what does that C-click mean?
C-click fix, this is Kemley. C-click fix is our software for customers to report concerns or make suggestions. So the name it's used countrywide by different county governments, and basically it started off with a customer can see something, can click a photo, and can get it fixed. So that's the name of the program. I apologize for that. So basically what he meant was they received several suggestions from customers through our software for those specific stops.
Great, cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dwayne.
Thank you. Is there anyone in the general public that would like to address something?
Oh, yeah.
Come forward to the microphone. You have 3 minutes to speak.
Wow, okay. I don't think I've ever spoken 3 minutes in my life. I got more like 45 minutes, but anyway, Mr. Brown,
Please introduce yourself.
my name is Barry Kieselowski. I ride the bus every day, including Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, everybody's birthday. I've wanted to come to this meeting because there's so many things that I see being on the buses all the time. I'm not going to go into all that. But Mr. Brown, I would like to ask you super real quick about Orient and Hillsborough going east, say when you turn right on the 38. There's not even a bus stop there really, and I get off every day there. You're talking about all these other places. And I'm not going to talk to you about it in front of everybody here now, but that was one thing I seen was freaking me out. The thing that I want to talk about more than anything else is attitudes on the drivers, because I've had some specific situations with, you know, I want to talk to you about this specifically is because they know you and they know who you are, but they don't care about me, okay? So they always ask you if you want the belt and all that kind of stuff, but that's not always the case with me, okay? But I've got some specific situations, and I obviously in 3 minutes can't go over all of them, but been riding HART for, I guess, over 3 years. I don't know if it's 4 yet or not, but I still have some of the same problems as far as the tie downs. I don't even try the belts anymore. It's just not worth it. Most of them don't know how to do it anyway, so let's just let it go. But there was a lady that this is one example I'm going to give, and I have her number and the day and everything like this, that moaned when she saw I was getting on the bus. And I've had people curse under their breath and different things like this. There was a guy not too long ago, I have it written down. He said he was hungover, he was cussing rather profusely. This is a driver I'm talking about, okay? So my situation with HART is more or less, I don't see anything getting done. I had a big conversation with Brian a couple weeks ago. I'm trying to help. I'm not just all about me. I'm trying to help overall, and I'm not really seeing anything being done. So I think it's pretty ironic that Mr. Brown was talking about all the places that he's fixed, and there's several of them that I know specifically that need to be fixed and aren't. So I guess that's a quick see fix thing I didn't know about, but now I do. That's great. Just like I said, overall, you know, I've got a lot of stuff to talk about, but in 3 minutes I can't get it done. So I just want to let everybody know that I'm out there every day and I see it. And one other thing is that Mr. Holmes touched on the knowledge situation, or trying to get knowledge out to people, and that's something that I think needs to be done also. You know, like there's a lot of information that's not being passed on, especially to the riders. So I'll end with that.
Thank you very much. If you like, Judith can get your phone number, and I can contact you back, and we can get some details of what you wrote down.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to say, when you're on the bus and the driver doing what you say he does, you get that driver, did you know, out the top, call it, report it, don't let it go by. If you want a belt on, they're supposed to put a belt
Well,
on.
I don't need one. You know what I'm saying? I can break with my feet if I need to, as far as that goes.
Okay,
But
that
I don't
bus,
want to go through all the hassle. I've tried it. I want to go through all the hassle of putting on a belt,
Yeah.
because most of them don't even know how to do it in the first place. So I don't even want to get involved with it anymore myself. You know what I'm saying?
but the safety of you,
I understand that.
if you don't want it on,
Well, I don't.
okay, you don't want
Okay.
it, okay.
And I don't fault the drivers that know me that they don't want one. Like I said, I don't even want to try to put one on because it's just too much of a hassle.
Okay.
Thank you.
And like I said, her drivers know that she's gonna have it, so.
Just announce the next meeting.
Thank you.
Is there If there's anyone on the phone that would like to discuss anything for the roundtable, will you please introduce yourself and anything you'd like to discuss? All right, let's do the roundtable here at the board meeting. Gloria?
I don't have a whole lot today. I do want to continue saying that when I've rode the regular bus, it's been the courtesy that I see in the drivers that I didn't before. And I think that's good trading here from HART.
Okay. Greg?
I have nothing.
Okay. Arizona?
Yeah, I have one thing. Different Alliance, Independent, had asked me to bring up the COVID thing that they're gonna be doing at the site. Is there any way we can have what is a bus that we can pick people up to take to the COVID site?
No.
Is that right, that's it, right? Okay.
I'm not specifically sure what you're asking about, Arizona.
Remember at our last board meeting, they asked about getting HART or something to donate a bus or a van to drop the people off for the COVID shot.
Yes, okay. Yes. So I think it's actually a question that I had posed to HART some time ago in regards to possible transportation options for persons with disabilities to the COVID vaccination locations.
Yep, we got two answers to that, is yes, they can book a trip there. We will not wait for them. It's a drop-off situation, and they may schedule a yellow cab trip to pick up when they're done, or they can book a trip from us an hour, hour and a half out, depending on what it is, because we do a scheduled only. And then Scott, you want to step in on your piece?
Yeah, so. Does anybody know average how long it takes? And would that be appropriate to book an hour and a half trip?
We don't know that. That's up to the individual to book their reservation. We don't tell you what to book. And Scott has a little more detail on what he's doing.
So for the state and county sites, they would probably have to go through the EOC. I don't know what the number would be. If they don't have any transportation, they have an appointment to one of the vaccine sites. And that would go through the EOC computer database system to Sunshine Line, and we would provide that transportation that way. For Sunshine Line clients that have the scheduled vaccination through the commercial sites, the Publix, Winn-Dixie, or Walmart, they would just have to book a regular trip, and we would drop them off and pick them up like any other thing, or if they're getting it from their medical provider, same thing. But for those state sites, it's a little different. That would have to go through the Emergency Operations Center, through that system, and then it would trickle down to Sunshine Line.
I think this is only for the Alliance clients to go to Civil Alliance, because Civil Alliance gonna be a site where you can get the shot.
Yeah.
So they asked me, and I'll bring it up.
Yeah, so
This is only for Sunshine, Civil Alliance clients.
Yeah, so if we have clients on board one of our bus, we won't wait in the line. We'll go to a different area.
Again, there's no line. This is only for Civil Alliance clients to go to Civil Alliance.
So if I can I help, Arizona? Okay. So Arizona and I sit on the board for the Self-Reliance, and one of the things that they're exploring is, they're exploring it right now. Nothing has been solidified, but they are exploring a possible option to be a test site location for vaccinations, and they're in communication with the county to possibly be a location for individuals with disabilities, not only specific for self-reliance, but I think, individuals with disabilities. Possibly, but again, it's just in talks, and I think Arizona's asking if transportation might be.
That would have to be coordinated, just like the vaccine site would be coordinated through the EOC. Transportation for people who have no means of transportation would also be coordinated through the EOC, and they would coordinate with Sunshine Line.
The
That's
only
the way that would
place
work.
I've heard that it is doing it in Tampa, I don't know anything about this county, but anyway, that's University Mall. I don't know if anybody knows another. That would be one at Self-Reliance would be that would be a great one.
And again, I want to be clear that they're just in communication. They've offered to possibly be a location for persons with disabilities. It's just in discussions right now, so.
Yeah, I just wanted to get some clarification because I already told them that you guys couldn't do that, but they wanted me to ask you anyway.
Publix was going to be, and now they're postponed.
It was just to clarify what I already had told them.
Right. Yeah, so all that gets coordinated through emergency operations, not directly through Sunshine Line for any of these things. I just want to make that clear.
Yeah.
So members of the public, they're at that level of where they're getting the vaccines. I think it's seniors right now. They just can't call Sunshine Line and say, hey, take me here or there. It doesn't operate like that. That would be all coordinated through the EOC, and they set up different things. But they could use us as county resources for that mechanism, and we've been in contact with them. And we've provided a couple trips already to those sites. But it gets called in, it gets identified, and it goes through the EOC system, and we have people monitoring their software, and then we put it into the Sunshine Line's trip system and book those trips for those individuals who have no other means of transportation to the vaccine site.
Yeah.
So this is just starting out, and
I just wanted to get some clarification so I can take it back to the board.
yeah, and we're here. Sunshine Line, we're here to support emergency operations just like we do for the hurricanes and evacuations. If they have needs, we can look at it based on our resources. We only have limited resources, but we'll do whatever we have to do to get the job done.
I want to say that I haven't heard a whole lot about this. This is really important to me. I don't know how the rest of you feel, but this is a life or death thing. If it could be, I know already that there's statistics that less people are showing to die, and less people are actually getting any COVID. So this is something that they need to, and I realize it's not hard, but that somebody needs to bring more time and more effort to it.
Well, there will be a COVID call on Monday the 22nd. The Florida Sand Federal, if you want to, it is open to the public. If you want to get on the call, I will be leading the call. It's to inform you of what the idea, what kind of transportation, everything, from the hospital to where the site is. I recommend that you all get on the call. So I will send the link out to Karen. You can pass it along. But it's Monday the 22nd at 3:30. 3:30 to 4:30.
Scott, you have anything else?
No, I don't. Thank you.
Raquel?
I've not received any concerns from community members since our last meeting. I always appreciate HART's, Kemily, and Greg Bracken's responsiveness to the inquiries that I send, so I'm very grateful for that. And I appreciate while I know the ridership is down, offering Yellow Cab has always been a tremendous help for our community members. So I'm really grateful that is continuing for our group. And thank you, Sunshine Light, also for providing some transportation to individuals to the COVID vaccination sites, because that's been some concerns that I've received in recent past. So I just want to thank everybody for their work.
Kimberly?
No, thank you.
Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Got a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you. Meeting adjourned. I hope we see everybody on May 20th.
Thank you.
Hi, Raquel.
Hey, Gloria.